Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I'm your host, and I hope that we have a message today that'll really take you into the next level. I've got a quote of the day for you from the Daily Mastermind mobile app, and it is by C.S. Lewis. The quote of the day is, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream another dream." You're never too old to set another goal or to dream another dream, by C.S. Lewis. I love that. You can get that every day on the Daily Mastermind mobile app. But today I want to talk to you about a topic that came up just the other day. I thought it might be something that could really help you out. I was building out some new products and things for some partners and some individuals that I consult with, and we were talking about a few different things, and this partner said to me, I always like to start with the end in mind. As we're trying to build out this funnel and these various products, we were asking ourselves where this is going to lead us to at the end of the day. And what I realized when he said that, and I looked back on that conversation, is that I kind of do that intuitively, based on experience of being in business and doing different things and going down a lot of paths that didn't amount to a lot. I realized that I kind of intuitively just always make sure that there's an end goal that I'm working with, and I thought, wow, that would be a great topic to speak with you about, because I think there's so many people out there right now that are doing things that they have hopes and dreams and thoughts could turn into something, but they don't know what that's going to be. Do you find yourself working on some things that you just feel really excited and passionate about? It might even be something within your unique talent, but you don't know exactly what it's going to turn out to look like. You don't necessarily have an end in mind. You're just really putting your heart and soul into something you're doing. And this may be even any kind of thing in business or investing, relationships, whatever it is. It's always better to start with the end in mind. Stephen Covey talks about that in his 7 Habits. But I realized this was a great subject. So what do I mean when I talk about this? Well, what I mean is that all of your activity in the present, in the now, that you're focused on should be driven by some end in mind, some goal, some vision of what you want your life to be like. For example, I always talk about not what you want to be when you grow up, but what do you want your life to be like? What do you want to accomplish in your life? Where do you want to see yourself? Or in the case of a specific product or business, what is it that your doing the activity is hoping for you to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish with the activities that you're working on every day? See, that's the problem most people have, is they go about their day on and on and on, and they don't actually think about why they're doing things. They don't actually have a reason they're doing it. They just know they're supposed to do it. They've been doing it. They're going to keep doing it. And they don't ever stop to question, is it really fulfilling your goal? And the reason we don't is because so many of the things we do pay the bills, give us some fulfillment, some recognition, or some accomplishment, but it really doesn't take us down the path of where we want to be. So this is why I ask you to think very seriously about what is your end goal. Make sure it's what you want. We've talked about this many times, but many people in life find out that they get to the end of a certain path and their ladder is against the wrong wall. How many times have we worked and worked and worked and grind and hustle and do all kinds of things, maybe even to achieve some success or not success, only to find out that you're chasing the wrong dream. Your ladder is up against the wrong wall. You've been climbing up it most of your life, and you get to the top, and that's happened to me in different businesses and positions I've been in. So make sure it's something that it's what you want. Also, make sure that you're going down a path with an end goal that is real and it's trackable. What I mean by that is, so many of us, because of the big move towards entrepreneurship and social media, so many of us are building personal brands, and we're doing social media, and we're doing all these types of things that maybe make you feel good or look good, or you have a very strong intent to create something from it, but you don't know what that is. And I want to be real careful here, because I'm not saying you have to know everything along the way, but you do have to have some idea of what your end goal is. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to necessarily mean that is what you're going to end up with. Many times along our path, we take detours and changes and pivots so that we can have a better understanding of what we want along the way, so we get to a better destination. But if you don't even know what the destination is, make sure you're not spending a lot of time and value on it. So make sure it's what you want, and make sure that it's a real and trackable thing that you're spending your time and activity on. And also, make sure it's not a non-starter. And what I mean by that is this, and I've done this many, many times as we were doing events internationally with Harv or Tony Robbins, these kind of guys. I was working with groups out of Asia and Australia, and the owners of those companies were really good about, one of them in particular was really good about saying, okay, what's our end goal? Like here, what are we going to get out of the deal? And even when we were super clear on what we were going to get as the end goal, if the numbers didn't make sense, if it didn't pencil out to be worth the time, the value, and the money, in other words, some of us are having an end goal that is far undervaluing our time and attention and our effort and our value. We're far undervaluing ourselves. Make sure that whatever your end goal is, it pencils out. Make sure it's something that's worth your time and money. So when I talk about starting with your end in mind, I'm talking about making sure you know what you want. It's something that you want you're going after. It's real, it's trackable, and it's something that pencils out to be a good deal for you. And the reason I think those are the real kind of things that I would look at when you're looking at deals or activities or even where you're spending your time hour by hour in the day. But the reason I want to emphasize that is this. There is a huge power for you in your life to guide you, help you, by knowing very specifically what your vision is, what your end goal is, even with a specific project, what do you want to accomplish? The power in that is that, number one, it'll drive you. If you're more clear on what the end goal is, it's going to be more attainable for you. Your mind is going to go to work on trying to figure out how to do it. So it's going to drive you, and it's definitely going to be more attainable, more achievable, the more you are specific. You know, when you're out there saying, I'm going to build a brand, I'm going to do social media, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, get out there and meet and network, I'm going to network with people, but you don't know what that's going to do for you, you're wasting your time. You're not putting the time and the value on your time. You're just hoping. You're shooting. You're taking shots and you're hoping they go in the goal or in the bucket or in whatever, right? You're hoping somebody catches that pass. You've got to be specific with your intent. Everything you do should be specific with your intent. And when you have a specific goal, it's going to drive you. And another thing that's very important is it's going to be your litmus test. Whenever someone comes to you and says, hey, would you like to do this? Or, hey, this is a good idea. You can go back to what your end goal is and you can say, it doesn't fall inside my goal. It doesn't fall inside what I want to be doing. Or you can say, wow, that really aligns. And be careful not to try to manipulate things to work for you. But I've done that a lot in my career where I've said, this, I could make this work. I could make this fall in line with my goal. Don't do that. The more clear you get on your vision and your end goal, number one, it's going to seem more attainable. It's going to give you more drive. But the clearer it is, the less likely you are to be distracted by shiny objects or by other things coming your way. Get clear on what your end goal is. Make sure that you are absolutely not doing something that's a non-starter. Make sure that you're not doing something that isn't what you want. Don't chase something that's not ultimately what you want, and make sure it's real and trackable. I promise you that it'll give you a lot more drive. It'll give you a lot more motivation. It'll be something you can use to hold up everything you're doing against it as a litmus test. And you know what? It's your benchmark. It's really your milestone and your benchmark that you want to get to, and having that in your life is going to be so, so important to you. So anyway, that's the thought I had for you today. This week, as you do your activities, as you go through your schedule, as you go through your day, make sure you always ask that question. Is this an activity that's getting me closer to my end goal? Is this an activity that has an end goal? Is this the activity that's going to get me the goal that I want and I desire, and I'll be happy and fulfilled and excited about in the end? Because I promise you can set a goal as to anything you want to do. What the mind of man can conceive and believe it can achieve. But you've got to set the goal, and then you've got to work aggressively towards that goal, using a lot of action, taking space for attraction, and then staying consistent and persistent. That's my message for today. I hope that's helped you. I hope you'll share this with others. Share the episode. Share this podcast. I would really appreciate it. It'd mean the world to me, and I look forward to helping you more, hearing more feedback from you. My name's George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Have a great day.